Come closer.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us on our new formats. And I'm hopeful that you can hear me. So if you are one of my 4 people who are on with us, if you could go ahead and give a thumbs up if you can hear me, I would really appreciate it. Excellent. Awesome. Well, so I'm going to play around with this a little bit as we go. I've been instructed that this is going to be our new format instead of using our Facebook Live. And so hopefully it works out well for all of us. I'm trying to figure out where the comments are. And hopefully I can see that here in just a second. I'm going to expand the menu. I'm going to see what I can see. But I'm not sure how to find out A, who's joining me, and B, where my comments are. And so that is frustrating. So sorry about that. I am sure that you guys have questions like you typically do. And I'm trying to figure out how to see those questions this morning. So as we chat and as we go through, I'm going to click on a link and see. Hopefully it doesn't take me away from you. And it won't let me, so no, it won't. Hopefully we're able to check it out and see. So thank you to those of you who have joined us. Thank you for, trusting us with this new process. And hopefully I can figure it out. I'm going to text Ms. Colback to see if she's on because I can't tell because she's not in with me. But while I do that, I am going to introduce the person who's behind me and have her say hello and kind of introduce herself a little bit more. So behind me is our new middle school dean, Dean Norfleet. And I'm going to have her share a little bit about like her background, where she's come from, her experience, and she's been with us. This is day 3 now. So she's learning as we go, but we're excited to have her. So take it away, Dean Norfleet. Go ahead.
Did they hear me from back here?
I think so.
Hi, everybody. My name is Devontae Norfleet. As Ms. Nicholas said, today is my 3rd day as being middle school dean. I do have history with NHA. I've worked for NHA for 10 years or so. Prior to coming to this position, I've worked as a 3rd grade teacher, a 4th grade teacher, a 5th grade teacher, and I've also worked self-contained middle school, 7th grade. I have also been an instructional coach. I got my bachelor's degree at U of M and then went on to get my master's with a special education endorsement, and I also have educational leadership degree. So I'm excited about meeting everybody and everybody's scholars. So good morning.
Awesome. And we're excited to have her. As you hopefully know, we've had some leadership changes. Last month, we chatted about Mrs. Sims' departure, and Mr. Stassa was on a leave of absence at that time. Currently, Mr. Stassa had made the decision to resign his position and move on from TEA. So we were able to go ahead and extend an offer to a position for the 3-5 dean to a candidate who lives in New York and will be joining us on July 1st. So when she does join us, we'll be happy to introduce you to her. In the meantime, that's where we're at. We just found out that the chat box is disabled, which is really unfortunate. So we're going to see if they can turn it on for us real quickly. So I apologize for having to text Ms. Colbeck in the middle of our live, normally not having to do that. So we want to make sure that we can answer any of your questions. So in the meantime, because we don't have the chat box live, if you have a question, send me an email to 72.mnickel@nhaschools.com. and I will have my email pulled up on my other screen, and I will go ahead and answer those as they come in. Won't be instantaneous, but as soon as you email me, we can do that. I do have some items for you today, though, so I want to make sure that I go through those pieces so that we can have that conversation. So, like I shared, Mr. Stassa has left TEA. He's actually left leadership and has moved back into a classroom position, and we wish him well. We did have the opportunity to hire a candidate for him, and they start in July, so that's exciting. And then I shared this weekend that Miss Van England, after 6 years with us, has made the decision to move out of leadership and back into teaching intervention in an at-risk teaching position at one of our sister schools. So she has departed as well. We met last night and kind of finalized that piece with her. And she is in a place where she needs to be and is happy and thriving and doing well. And that's all that we hope for anybody that we care about. And so we will miss her greatly, but we are happy that she has found an opportunity to be happy and to impact kiddos in a positive way still within NHA. So we're hiring for an intervention and special ed dean as well. So while we have 3 of us who are in the building on a daily basis now with Ms. Norfleet, myself, and Mrs. Colbeck, we still have 1 open position to fill and then 1 position that's been filled, but we are filling it at the end of the school year because the person who we chose is currently working as an instructional coach in New York and is moving to Michigan. So she's going to finish the school year there and then join us in July. When we have it. So we will definitely bring that back and have that conversation and make sure that you guys have that opportunity to meet the rest of the deans. I want to talk a little bit about our spirit wear orders. We are going to have another spirit wear sale. It's going to open up on Monday. We'll send the information out in my newsletter this week. So sale will open on Monday. It'll stay open until the 30th. And then after that sale, it takes approximately 2 weeks for the orders to come in, and they do come to the school. And so if you are a parent of a virtual student, we will make sure that we communicate when those orders come in so that you can come on up to the school and pick up those spirit wear items. And as a friendly reminder, we're seeing a lot of struggle with uniform and dress code right now. And I get it. Kids are growing, my own too. Things aren't fitting as well. But we really do need to see our kiddos back in uniform. So navy bottoms, they can be a skirt or shorts, but it can't be more than 2 inches above the knee. We also need to make sure that they have a white or gray or the neon green NHA polo shirt. If those 2 pieces aren't there, it's really hard to do the rest of it, right? They can wear whatever shoe they want as long as it's closed-toed and closed back. I'm seeing some Crocs. Those shouldn't be worn, even in sports mode. And I know that sometimes kids, want to wear something cozier, but we can't. We have to be in uniform. Hoodies have become a real problem, and hoodies are not part of our dress code, even our TEA hoodies. So as you look at spirit wear and as you take a look at what do I want my kiddo to be able to wear at school, the crew neck sweatshirt that says Taylor Exemplar Academy, that is appropriate to wear over a uniform shirt on days that are chillier. They can also wear the zip-up fleece that's from our spirit wear sale, as well as anything else that has that zip-up piece, but not a coat, not anything that would be construed outdoor wear, if you will. So we want to make sure that the kiddo, before you buy it, what can and cannot be worn during the school day as part of the uniform. We were really lucky a couple of years ago. We petitioned our school board and said, hey, can we get not just the blue sweater, but can we have our TEA sweatshirts that are crew neck as part of the uniform? And they said yes. So we're able to do that. But if our students continue to wear hoodies instead, we're going to have to get rid of that piece and that option and go right back just to the sweaters. And I don't want to make that happen for kids because let's be honest, wearing a sweatshirt is kind of nice. So please make sure that you are sending your kiddos in uniform. They're going to start getting some phone calls home because it's just, we're seeing some stuff that's just not great. And we want to make sure that we get back to that core value of making sure that we're doing that. But Spirit Wear sale is opening. I know that a parent asked me, and I wanted to make sure that happened. We usually do a couple a year. This one is happening. starting next Monday. I got a question coming in about state testing, and so that's my next topic as well. So perfect. So we have asked that all students, because it's required, all students that are in testing grades be present in person to take their state assessment. Here's the deal. We know COVID cases are rising. We also know that those of you who are virtual chose virtual for a reason. We're aware that it could be uncomfortable to come into a setting of a school when you haven't done so all year because of how you feel regarding COVID and the safety of your family. So we're going to ask you to come in. If you as a family choose not to, then that's your choice. Your child just won't take the test. We get it. We understand. We'd love to see the results. We'd love to see where we need to work to help them grow as we move forward, especially because of how hard this pandemic has hit everybody academically. But we know and understand that there just might be a discomfort level within getting into the building and coming. So look for a letter to come from me in my newsletter this week with more information about it. But we would appreciate as many of you as possible to come in and do it. If you're just dead set against it, we totally understand. And there'll be some communication on how to let us know that's the situation. Okay. Let me see. Somebody, yeah. Oh, do virtual kids when they come in need to wear uniforms? No. Mostly because I'm assuming you didn't buy them this year, and because I wouldn't have. And I didn't until my daughter's school went back in person. And so I don't need you to rush out and buy a uniform that you're going to wear for 3-4 times to come into our building to take a test. So no, they do not need to wear uniforms. Thank you for asking that question. They just need to be in some school appropriate clothing. Think casual day. You want them to be comfortable as they take this assessment. They're already maybe going to feel a little bit of discomfort as they come into the building for the first time this year. So we want to make sure that they don't feel uncomfortable having to come in with a uniform on, or you having to go buy one just to wear it for a couple hours, 3 or 4 times. So that's the answer for that one. If you have any other questions about that, let me know. In my newsletter last week, I did send out the schedule for the M-STEP and PSAT testing. That was communicated. You just click on a link in the newsletter, but we also have the calendar. And so starting next Monday, our PSAT, our M-STEP opens for 5th and 8th grade. On Tuesday, our 8th grade scholars will taking the PSAT test. And Wednesday, those students who have like IEPs, who have accommodations, they will be finalizing their PSAT. And then starting Thursday, the 15th, Thursday and Friday of that week, our 5th graders are taking ELA. Thursday is the main day for M-STEP for ELA for 5th graders, but makeups are on that Friday. And then our 8th grade social studies students will be taking M-STEP. So 5th grade ELA next week, 8th grade PSAT, and then 8th grade M-STEP for social studies is next week. The following week, we start M-STEP math for 5th grade and M-STEP science for 8th grade. So the first 2 weeks, it's just 5th and 8th grade. So parents, make sure that you check that schedule out, and I'm going to clearly lay it out in our newsletter as well for all of you, so that we have that. Times are going to be added to the SMORE newsletter, just so that there's clarity and understanding for you, so that you don't stress out as a parent trying to make sure that you look in 800 different places to ensure that you know where things are at. So we're going to take care of that for you. Thank you for those of you who are sending in questions through my email. It's helpful for me. Apparently the chat has been turned off. I will get it addressed so that we can have it turned on for next time. So I apologize ahead of time for that. Like I said, I have no idea who's joining me, but 30 of you are, and I love that. So thank you. And hopefully what I'm sharing is what you need to hear. And if not, send me an email. I would be happy to answer your questions in our chat. So the next thing I want to talk about is we are planning a family event. The first one of the year. I'm very, very excited. We are doing it with social distancing in mind, but we're going to have a drive-in movie. And we do not have the movie picked yet. We haven't decided, but the drive-in movie is going to be on May 21st. It's a Friday. And was going to be at our parking lot, but you've all been here, so it's tiny. And so we just partnered with Taylor Prep this morning and have made the decision to move it over to Taylor Prep's parking lot. So we're really excited about that, so we can get more cars in. We're going to have a small cost per car. So your whole family is going to be one price. And for that price, there'll be like snacks that are provided. We're looking at the possibility of popcorn and drinks for the car, but there will be a charge of $10 per car. So that way we can help pay for the cost of the projector and the screen and all that stuff that's coming out and doing it. So we're going to try it out. We hope that it goes well. Families will stay in their vehicles. You'll hear the sound through the radio station. We'll send some detailed information out to you. We'll also have a reservation that you'll have to fill out, and then you'll get a ticket so that you can come, and that way we can make sure that it's for our families and that you guys are joining us and that we've taken care of it. So mark your calendars, May 21st. The movie will start at dusk, but we'll probably start parking cars 6:30ish. And we'll go from there. So we're really excited to have you join us. The principal over at Taylor Prep will be there as well. So if your kiddos are in the upper L or middle school and you're considering Taylor Prep as a school for them as they go to high school, it'd be a great opportunity for a little casual meet and greet with them. She's going to open the building for us in case anybody has to go potty, or that kind of stuff. So we'll be able to have at least one event where we kind of engage our families and go from there. As well as this Friday, if your child turned in their reading log, you will be shortly getting an invitation for donuts with the admin. So we have a good handful of kiddos that were in person that turn in their reading log, and a good handful of people that were virtual that also turn in their reading log. So we're going to have separate times for virtual and in-person students to come join us for not coffee. I'm going to drink coffee probably, but for donuts with the leadership team. And so we're really excited to have that and to bring those kiddos in. And we're going to be doing it outside for our virtual students unless it's raining. And then we are going to likely have to social distance in the gym so that people can be safe. So we will be sending out communication today for that, for those of you who are invited. And again, it's only if you're invited and you get invited because your child turned in their reading log completed on Monday when it was due. So we're excited to have that. We're excited to have our kiddos join us and see some faces that we maybe haven't seen much this year. So it's exciting for me. And then I just want to give a plug. I'm noticing that less people are reading my newsletters, and I'm not sure if it's because the content is boring or if there's something that you want in there that's not in there this year, or if it's like a lot of people, we're just really tired and we're just plugging away and trying to get through. But no matter why, I'm going to encourage us to really circle back around to it and read it. If you don't, there's a lot of important information that you miss. Yes, I'm sending you a voicemail. Yes, I'm sending you a text message, but I'm not covering everything for the week or all the upcoming stuff within that text or within that voice message. I just can't. There's too many things. And while I repeat some of those pieces over the weeks, if they're important and they're ongoing, there are new things happening or communicated weekly that I really encourage you to check out and to read we have over 500 families at our school, 770 kids, but 500 of those come from, we have 500 different families. And we want to make sure that every family knows what's happening and what's going on, so that you're aware of what you need to do so that we can do what we need to do as well. So report cards were available on on your parent portal. We got a lot of feedback on the parent survey that the parents didn't receive report cards, but that was a transition. That was a change that happened 2 years ago. And so we haven't been sending report cards home, but they're available. All you have to do is log in. So like certain things like that we communicate in our newsletters that if you don't know could cause you to feel some frustration, because you might not think that you're receiving the information that you need. So I'm really going to ask that when I send those newsletters out, and I'm trying to do it on Friday now so that you have the whole weekend in case something's needing to be prepared, so that you have the whole weekend to check out what's happening, so that you can be prepared and ready to go on Monday morning. So I encourage you to read it. I really encourage you to reach out if you have questions about it. And if there's something in my newsletter that you would like me to tweak or adjust or add to, let me know. If something's missing that used to be in my newsletter that you would like me to bring back, let me know. I want to make sure that you're getting what you need out of the communication that I send you. Because if I'm spending my time writing it, I want to make sure it's impactful for you. And if not, then I want to shift it and change it so that it makes the most sense for you to have it. So hopefully we can partner together on that, and you can let me know what works best for you and what you need that I'm not communicating so that I can get that to you in a timely fashion in my upcoming newsletters. Let's see. I have no more emails that came in. If you have a question or a concern today, please shoot me an email at 72.mnickel@nhaschools.com. I'm running out of things to share. Those are the pieces of the puzzle that we wanted to talk about today. And usually we have about 10 minutes of questioning. So that's kind of, we're in a lull right now, and nobody just wants to stare at me. I totally get it. I do want to say that I am very aware that this is the outfit that I wore the last time we had a live session. I was telling Ms. Norfleet that this morning, but Wednesday is Unity Day, and we wear our Unity shirts. And this is the cardigan that was clean again. So I do wear different clothes, not apparently on the first Wednesday of every month, though. So my apologies for having the same outfit again. Not fancy. I totally know. All right. So, summer schools. Yes, we have made a decision regarding summer school. We're having it. We are going to offer three different options for summer school. It's not been fully approved yet, but let me share our draft plan with you. All kids are going to be able to receive some workbooks, similar to the ones you got last time we went into our remote setting. They're going to be focused on high priority standards that will help bridge the gap and get our kiddos ready for next school year. And it's really going to be an on your own thing with a couple check-ins throughout the summer. Option 2 will be, we are offering an in-person opportunity. We will have one teacher per grade level, K2, and then one teacher per grade level, 3-8 as well. But the 3-8 will be live streaming and teaching in person, while the K2 will either be teaching in person, and then we'll have another K2 group that will be live streaming their classes. So option 3 is you can stay at home and you can get on the screen and you can get learning from us. We are going to be doing morning sessions for ELA and math, 90 minutes long a piece. So we'll feed our in-person kiddos will get breakfast in the morning. They'll have 90 minutes of ELA, 90 minutes of math. Then they'll have lunch. And then in the afternoon, we'll have optional fun electives. We think that it's been hard this year. I don't know how you feel, but we feel it's been a little bit challenging for our kids because it's different for them. Learning has been different for them. And we want to make sure that they have what they need. So we're looking at doing like fun art electives, fun technology electives, fun physical electives, getting kids moving and getting them engaged. I know that Mr. Smith is going to be teaching our older kiddos summer learning this year. And he's all about getting kids active and getting time in the gym or on the playground, doing some formalized physical activity. So know that that's there. Our virtual kids would get the 90 minutes of ELA and 90 minutes of math instruction a day, but we will not be live streaming those fun electives in the afternoon. So they would just have the morning session. So those are the pieces. It will be a 5-week program. It will start the week after 4th of July, and it will go until the end of the first week of August. And so, yes, we're having summer learning. All kids that are going to be enrolled in the school in the fall are welcome to join us, which means 8th graders that are leaving us cannot come, but anybody coming in can join us as well. They would not be able to do the virtual piece, but they would be able to do the remote piece or the in-person piece. And that's just because until they're fully enrolled, which means the first day of school, their butts are in a seat, they can't have any like sign-in information for technology. So hopefully that answered your question. And we're able to go from there. Thanks, Jen. I know that you have this Cardi, and it is one of my favorites too. So thank you for saying that you love it in the email. Yeah, why has there been such a turnover with staff? I think it's a great question. I ask myself that every day too. So don't feel bad for asking it. So I think, and from conversations with them, I know that it's been hard this year. Not just because of a pandemic, but because let's be honest, we're one of the only schools in the area that's been back in person all year. Even our NHA schools around us, they have a third of the kids back in person that we have. And while we know that kids learn best when they're in school, and we know that it's the right work to do, sometimes it's overwhelming. And sometimes we have to take a personal reflection and say, is this where I need to be? Am I feeling emotionally and physically okay to be here? And, you know, we know Miss Sims left because she got a promotion, so we're not gonna, that one's a one-off, right? But with Mr. Stassa and Miss Vanny, we know that they needed to look and see if this was where they needed to be and if they felt emotionally and physically okay being here as well. And we know that it's a lot of work and it's overwhelming sometimes. And so the reason that turnover happened is because they needed to be in a different place for themselves, so that they could feel that what they were doing was impactful in the way that they needed it to be for their own family as well as their school family. So, you know, while I can't share the whole story of the why, and oftentimes the story that's shared maybe makes us look like we're not the best. It doesn't put us in the best light because people always wonder, like, well, why are they leaving? Is something going on? Is somebody upset? What's happening? It's not my story to tell, but I can say that we love them both, and we just want them to be successful and happy. And there's no bad blood. We just they needed to do what they needed to do for their family and for themselves. So great question. I know we're all wondering it. I know everybody's whispering about it. And that's okay. I would be too. I'd be like, what's happening at that school that people are leaving? But that's really kind of the case. 3-5 teachers have turned over quite a bit this year too, and last year. And that's pretty consistent since before I got here, unfortunately. And I think that it happens because we have not had a consistent leader in our 3-5 wing. And, you know, when leadership turns over, people turn over. And that's just mostly because, you know, people lead differently and maybe they don't like it. And the other piece is we know that our schools in the area have been virtual, and teachers can sit at home and teach instead of coming in and teaching. And a lot of times when people are feeling overwhelmed with the health pandemic that's happening, they look for something to make themselves feel safer and better. And while we think we do a great job following safety protocol, it makes people feel a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. And I can't change that. I can do all of the pieces of the puzzle to lay a foundation of safety, but I can't change how somebody feels on the inside about the pandemic and about being present in the building. I wish I could, because there's days where we all feel it, but people had to make their own decisions and choose what they felt was right for them. So shifts happen, changes happen because of that. And we've had some people shift just because they knew Miss Sims was leaving. So there's been a couple pieces of the puzzle this year. We've had more mid-year leaves than any year before, and the majority of our staff who left went to a public school who was teaching virtually, so that they could teach virtually for the remainder of the year. So good question. I'm glad you asked it. Thank you for letting me address it. And hopefully I answered it in a way that was appropriate and that you guys feel okay about. Feel free to email me if you want more information, and I'll share what I can. The story to tell that's mine, I'll be able to share with you. So Miss Turner, we are finalizing the daily school hours right now for the summer learning, but it would be, don't quote me because it's not confirmed yet, but we're looking at doing something from like maybe 8:30 for breakfast, and then starting from 9 to 11 for that, having lunch, and then go till 1 for like the afternoon electives. So from like 9 to 1 would be learning, 8:30 if you want to come for breakfast. We will finalize it, but that's kind of what we're looking at right now. Thank you for asking that question, though. 8th graders, when will they get their test results? I'm going to assume you're talking about PSAT, and I don't know the date for that. I can find that out, though, and I can definitely send that in my communication for you guys. Let me go from there. I think I answered all of my questions that you guys sent in my email. And I want you to know I appreciate them. I appreciate you asking the hard questions. I appreciate you not shying away from them. And I appreciate you joining us today. I'm sorry that the chat box was turned off, and we're going to address that and take care of it. But I hope that you know how much we appreciate you all, and that if you have any questions or any concerns at any time, all you have to do is send me an email. I was telling Mrs. Norfleet, I only have 147 new ones today so far at 9:02. So it's really exciting for me that it's lower than normal, and that I can definitely, get through them all. So if you emailed me over break and I haven't gotten back to you yet, I'm working through my list. I took a little bit of, I'm going to be honest, well-needed and well-deserved time to spend with my family. So we're going from there. Final question was, do I have an ETA on next year's calendar? Here's the draft. It's not approved yet, but we are starting after Labor Day. I did not petition the state to start before it because no. And so we are continuing with that. And so as soon as it's approved, I will share it out with you, and we can go from there. But yes, the draft is done. We will be having some half days and early release days again. But other than that, very similar. Nothing much is changing. It's not going to be like, oh, here's a week off in, March. We don't have that, capability. So still going to do the staggered dismissal, but we're going to look at 5th grade, shifting back to dismissing with elementary school too. So more to come on that. We appreciate your time. We appreciate all of you, and we hope that you have an amazing day. My walkie is loud this morning. Sorry about that, guys. So I will see you all soon, and hopefully you'll get to come for our virtual family night for the movie. And if not, reach out. Miss you guys. Have a great one, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.